See, I've had this video requested a lot, and it's that of my personal journey and how I found my teacher. So why not do it? So here it is. Hi, I'm Jamie. I help people navigate through their spiritual awakening. Let's talk about my personal story, personal awakening experience that happened in 2015. Couldn't tell you the exact date, although I know it was in August. I was away in Kavos. This is the irony of it. God really does have a sense of humour. I was away in Kavos for a lad's holiday, partying it up, and for some reason was suffering a lot. I had a lot of guilt and shame in my system. It was mainly over a few things in my past that are no longer relevant anymore here for me, so no need to mention them. But a lot of guilt and shame. And that led me to smoking weed and, I don't know at that point, but probably doing other silly things too. And so, I'm not judging weed as silly, because it's a teacher plant and absolutely everything in this existence has its place. I no longer smoke weed though, because that really did screw with my mind a little bit. Nonetheless, I went on holiday to Kavos, where you can't get any of that. In Greece are really strict on it, at least in the part that we were. You couldn't get any of that, and so there was a big amount of suffering building in me. And one day, for some reason, I brought a huge amount of energy to this, and the mind says, guys, you should go and get some weed or something, or you should go and find something or whatever. And inside myself was this fury, and it just went, no! God did not send me here just to suffer. This is madness, was my response from somewhere very, very deep within. Anyway, for that moment, that was that. And I carried on about my day. And then we ended up in the pool lounges, those really nice, like four-poster hammock beds that you get on the beach sometimes in these really nice places. And I lied down there. And this was a sober day for me, I didn't drink any alcohol or anything. And in fact, if I had done that, I don't think the experience would have happened. Which was uncharacteristic for me not to drink on a lad's holiday, But for some reason, there was some inner guidance that just says, nope, you're not doing it. And I heard the Lord's Prayer. I'm not Christian, but I heard the Lord's Prayer, and it touched something in me so deep, for some reason, in that moment. It was playing in the background. It was like one of those, like club, sort of dubbed songs, but it wasn't a club version of the Lord's Prayer, because that would be really strange. But it was the Lord's Prayer with sort of a little bass behind it and some ethereal music or something, just to, set the mood, set the intention or something in the outdoor pool area. And it just touched something very, very deeply in me. Anyway, come to the next day, I woke up with such a beautiful feeling in my belly. It was like an ethereal gel of joy that I just couldn't shake for the whole day. And at points during this experience, my mind would be kicking in with lots of identity types, meaning it would say, you're the funny guy, because I was really trying to work out and question, what am I? Who am I? I was going through a bit of a crisis of identity, and I was like, what am I to people? Who am I, kind of thing. And the mind would bring identity shapes, identity forms, meaning you're the funny guy, and I go, no, that's not it. You're the cool guy. No, that's not it. You're the lazy guy. No, that's not it. And it would continue to go. And I must have gone through about 2 years worth of karma in about probably 2 hours. I went silent, basically, almost for a whole day. And even the people around me were saying at that time, You haven't spoken for ages. What are you doing? And I was just inside in my own silence. I didn't know I was being silent. It's just the mind was going, bringing in loads of identities that I was going, that's not it, 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 I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that, I'm not that. It wasn't like a forced thing. It was just completely natural, this processing of a shed load of karma, basically. Then, as we got up from the restaurant, we were in the restaurant at that time, as that was happening, and I just looked up to the sky, and somehow, if I can remember it correctly, or it's very hard to forget, somehow a buzz went off in the crown of my head, and then from that moment, after that buzz went off, it seemed like for some reason my consciousness didn't flinch at that buzz, which would probably have sent the mind off usually into something like, oh gosh, what was that? That was weird, I've never experienced that before. Nonetheless, that didn't happen. And then after that buzz happened, a huge amount of Shakti, what I later found out was Kundalini Shakti, huge rush of energy, travelled all the way up my spine, exploded out my head and mouth in bliss and ecstasy. After that, my being from the core, from the solar plexus area, began expanding in every single direction, and it almost whisked me off my feet as that happened, as this surge of an exhale came out of me. Now, that wasn't the end of the experience. There was plenty more fun stuff, if you can call it fun, but it was definitely weird. As soon as that happened, ego said, wow, that's what I've been put here for on this earth. That's what I was looking to experience all of my life. Chasing drugs, alcohol, whatever, girls, women. But I was never looking for that. Really, I was looking for this feeling, this awakening experience that had just happened inside of me. Now, an intuitive voice, which was something that I'd never experienced before, came in and just said, okay, this has happened, but you stay quiet now. You don't tell anyone. I had such a big temptation to tell my friends that I was on holiday with, and the voice just went, no, you don't do that. You stay quiet now. And I stayed quiet inside of myself. And again, more intuitive stuff came along stuff that humans couldn't naturally know, not at least in the way that we think. Not normally. It wasn't societal thoughts. They were big life-changing thoughts. No, you got life wrong. It's not like that. No, it's not like that. No, it's not like that, kind of this voice was saying, was showing me inside of myself what life was like as these switches occurred of consciousness inside of me. And this continued for a while, in fact, a couple of days, and then more experiences would happen over the next coming probably 18 months or so before they all subsided, regardless. This then, as naturally it would, raised the question in me, what the just happened? And that I should probably pay heed to this and go and find somebody that would be able to know, understand, and help me through that experience. And that led me to my teacher. They always say when the student's ready, the teacher appears, right? And this was no different, except I didn't know where to find a teacher. It was weird. It's a weird experience. It's not normal. I've never met anybody, apart from in my coaching, that has ever had that experience before at that time, And I thought, wow, I need to go and find somebody. So, as you do, Google helped. And I found somebody nearby. It was just, I said, well, what do I know? What do I know? This might be something to do with. It might be something to do with Buddhism. Because I'd had a look at jhanas. And I thought, okay, maybe it's a jhana experience or something. I really had no idea. So I typed in Buddhism Southampton, which is where I lived at the time. And up popped the yoga sanctuary. He wasn't Buddhist at all. He doesn't ascribe himself to any religion. I don't think. But I don't, so I imagine that he's the same. And I met this man in Southampton called Steve Harrison. And I signed up for one of his yoga classes, and at the end of the yoga class I took him aside and said, hey, this thing's happened. And I explained all of it, and he said, oh, okay, yeah. And then he told me at a later date he went out to his wife after the yoga class and he says, we've got a corker! which I now understand means, nothing good. But, when the champagne bottle corks, poof, you go pop, you go bang. That's exactly the same as this Kundalini experience that had happened in me. Now, that's how I found my teacher, online. And after training with him for 5-6 years now, I offer my own services. It's the same stuff as him, living yoga method that he trained me in, and in fact very much changed my life. He understood the experience that happened, and that's why I say to people, you need to go with somebody that has had the experience before and knows where to push you. And he said to me, you're now the perfect person. I said, look, I've got loads of people coming to me with Kundalini. What do I do? And he said, well, actually, Jamie, you're the perfect person for that. You've been through the experience. You know what it takes afterwards to transform your life and bring it back into some element of normalcy, even though normality is, you're probably going to have a funny few years, after this, as your life completely shifts and changes. And so that's why I now offer what I offer here. Plenty of free stuff down below, and of course serving everybody on every budget. It's free stuff that you're receiving here, and I want to keep it that way and keep it fair, because not everybody has money, especially if you're going through an awakening experience. Sometimes all of your money goes, and so we serve everybody with every budget, free here. But if you do want to take that extra step and you're ready to invest in yourself, then by all means you can sign up down below for the Freedom Blueprint. This is for that person who's ready to take their journey to the next step. I must tell you, without my teacher, I wouldn't be here. And if you're looking for a teacher that's been through it and has been through experience after experience and is qualified to help you through this process, then you are more than welcome to sign up for it down below. That's what it feels my life, at least now, is made for. That's what God wanted for me in this moment, if this makes sense. And so I'll leave that there available to you if you want. So there is my personal story. And that's how I met my teacher. Thanks for requesting that. If you do have any requests, do by all means put them down below in the comments. Please smash the like button if you find these videos helpful. It's the only way we can grow. Can I say, lately I've been through such a trial. We all recognize it, don't we? Life gets hard and then you break down, and then naturally what comes out of a breakdown is a breakthrough. And I've been really breaking down lately. And the support that I've received on Instagram, the supportive messages, you know who you are. And through YouTube, somebody had a glistening intuition the other day. It was just like, hey, I can feel. I hadn't posted any videos for 2 weeks, so I can feel you going through something, brother. And I was like, yeah. So whoever you are as well, I won't mention your name just in case you don't want to be. Thank you. Because the support I prayed to God that I needed some supportive energy, because some of the comments got a bit out of whack there and a bit not great, all spiritual ego and fine, but as much as I'd love to say they don't affect you, they do. So I welcome those supportive messages that came. Thank you very much for that. It's why I'm making this video today. So lots of love. We really are in this together. We hold each other up in this life. So thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Lots of love. Namaste.